Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Average Gentleman's Podcast. We're bringing you back what's in your cup. Let's go around the room.
I am being a little more adventurous this week. I have a bottle of water, but I'm putting in some Miho sweet tea flavoring.
Why is it Miho?
Mio. I don't know. Mio? I'm sorry.
It's not Hispanic.
In my world, it is. All right? He's my little Miho. All right? Sweet tea flavored. So, next.
Let's see how that'll affect you. Does it affect you anyway?
I just started using these like last week because I'm trying to stay away from I know this is artificial sweetener, but I feel like it's so much less than what's
Is it really an artificial sweetener or just something for
it's
taste?
stevia. It's got stevia.
Is that what it is?
Stevia.
Okay.
I mean, but it's stevia artificial because I don't fucking know, but I feel like it's better than using Crystal Light, which I know is just saccharin upon saccharin.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I'm drinking.
And just for our listeners' awareness, Joe is sitting on a bucket just in case if he has any accidents.
I haven't started with the laxatives yet, so they haven't given me a date for the next colonoscopy. But my butthole, I'm happy to say, is back to being a tight butthole. I tested it today from a poop, and we're good. Don't ask how I tested it. I saw your fucking minds working.
Okay, I'm also drinking Miho.
That's right.
Blueberry Miho with a little Tito's.
There you go. Wait, you're drinking it with water? Tito's?
Yeah.
With water? Really?
Mhm.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, by putting the Miho in there, it's making it almost like a Gatorade, right?
Yeah.
It's a sweeter beverage.
I guess.
So it's just a flat beverage.
it's just
It's like a
not-
juice.
All right, I guess.
Yeah, it's just not carbonated. It's the same thing as
Yeah.
the bubbly.
It's like a vodka orange juice. It's not,
Yeah,
not
I guess.
carbonated.
I guess.
Vodka cranberry, vodka pineapple.
Vodka Gatorade.
Yes.
Don't criticize my Miho.
No, I just thought it was weird.
Be nice to my mijo.
I'm doing
Doesn't that mean something in Spanish, mijo?
kid.
Yeah, I think it's like
Child-
slang for
Kid.
For a kid?
Yeah.
Look at that.
I'm drinking. So you're drinking a kid? No.
Things are getting
Wouldn't
weird
be the-
already.
Wouldn't be the first time.
We're like 3 minutes into the episode. We're talking about drinking kids.
Yeah, weird. Yeah. So I'm drinking Shipwreck with Diet Coke.
Shipwreck's a rum, right?
Shipwreck is rum. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm switching off from the vodka. I feel like I've been drinking too much vodka lately. So
I love vodka,
Move
but
off.
I've told you guys it does nasty, nasty things to me.
well, if you drink too much of it, right?
I can drink whole bottles of bourbon. I'll be drunk, but I'll remember everything. You give me like 2 shots of vodka mix in there.
Yeah, vodka's
You're telling me what I'm doing the next day, what I did the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah, vodka's my nasty drink if I drink too much of it.
You know?
I never get
that
nasty.
I know. That I know. That I know.
I think we've all experienced that a little bit with you, Ray.
Well, most recent with me, we went out for a birthday, celebrate mine, my wife's, and his wife's, Ray's wife's birthday. We went to Atlantic City back in November, I think it was.
Okay.
And so what happened? We were seeing, was it DJ Pauly D was there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were watching. We went to go,
DJ Pauly D.
yeah. So we went to go watch DJ Pauly D, and they were giving out like these giant sports bottles of like half filled with Grey Goose, half filled with whatever else you want, and it was like I don't know, $30.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
And this
Uh,
was, at this point, I've been on keto for over a year.
And he was probably even less weight than he is now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It would. Needs to say
And
when
that
he
was, like,
gets
my
angry
first
drunk,
time, like,
he
drinking.
walks away like angry.
And there was no walking.
Yeah.
Was this at the pool at
This
Harris?
is at the pool in Harris. So I ended up.
Was it as good as Hasselhoff?
Well, at least Hasselhoff.
For your
Oh, no,
bachelor
no,
party?
that was his bachelor party. Yeah, no. At least for Hasselhoff, he was awake.
Listen, Hasselhoff, I lasted everyone. I was back at the apartment cleaning up when everyone was sleeping.
You,
Well,
you were cleaning up because I was on the couch making moose sounds from my end.
Because you had to. Because you destroyed the bathroom.
No. That already cleaned up.
That was already cleaned up?
Yeah.
Oh.
we had
I meant
so
just in
much
general,
beer
the
that
house
weekend.
stuff.
Oh, I gotcha.
Me and Steve.
You guys went to Wawa, had sandwiches. You were sitting at the table bullshitting, and then you started cleaning up. Yeah, I remember. Woke me up.
These are just stories from our past where
Another lifetime ago, man.
Yeah, basically. It was Ray's bachelor party. We rented a house down by AC.
The world was supposed to end because that crazy guy predicted a day.
Yeah.
Remember we were grilling? Yeah. No, it wasn't Nostradamus. It was that crazy guy who said, on this day, on whatever, the world's ending.
I don't remember.
You remember that?
No, I don't.
No, I remember, but I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, I don't either, but
I do remember the intercom that was in that house.
paging Dr. Faggot.
Then Joe and I did one-on-one flip cup.
Yes, and then I immediately opened the garage door on the side, projectile vomited out the side just from volume, and went, all right, let's do it again. Oh, man.
That was a good night.
And Steve answering the door in his Speedo when Kirk got there.
That I don't remember. I don't even remember when Kirk got there, to tell you the truth.
I don't think Kurt remember when Kurt got there.
Kirk got there later in the day, and Steve answered the door in his Speedo with his cowboy hat. And Kurt looked at him and was like, what the fuck did I just get into?
I think I'm at the wrong house.
Yeah.
Please let me be at the wrong house.
The house was sick, though, man.
The house was
It
nice. You know, all right, so when I booked the house, I got really nervous because I didn't go down to see the house. It was just kind of one of those. I think it was one of those first like Airbnb type.
Yeah, it was before Airbnb really blew up.
Exactly. So this is going back over 10 years at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, you see all these pictures online, and I'm like, all right, this is pretty cool. But I didn't see any of the pictures of like the kitchen. They just said they had a nice kitchen, 2 balconies, no blah blah blah. So I remember we get there and we walk in on the first floor.
They had to mail you the key, too, right?
Yeah. They had to mail
So
me the
we're
key.
going back before like lock boxes were being hung, like all these digital doors
Oh
and
yeah,
everything.
they mailed me the key. You know, we got it just in time and all that stuff.
I'm married 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost 10
so
years.
that's 7 years.
No, it was a bachelor party. It would've been like
the other
9
way.
years.
Yeah, 9 years.
Yeah, it's almost 10 years. So yeah, I mean, they I was just like, well, let's just pick the place and see what happens, right? And I mean, worst comes to worst, we make the best of it.
Yeah.
I remember we walked in, we started scoping the place out. It's like the first floor, there's like this college mini fridge that goes up to your waist, and the sink like that you can just like wash like your face in.
Yeah, it was
the smallest sink that you could possibly think.
No,
of.
it was a wet bar, is what it was. So it was.
Do you really think it was a wet bar? I mean,
That's what they call it. That's what they call a wet bar.
all right.
It's where you make drinks and you have just a sink to wash one cup out. It's not
Yeah,
like meant
dude,
for
it was-
anything more than a cocktail drink.
It was terrible. Like I was like,
When we first walked in, I thought the same thing. I'm like, dude, where are we staying?
yeah.
I'm like, this is a garage and one bed. What?
So then we get upstairs to the second floor, and it was the second floor was better because it had most of the bedrooms. And then we get up to the third floor, and it just like it was like, holy crap, this place is
We almost
beautiful.
felt bad because we knew what was going to transpire that weekend.
Yeah, seriously.
It was that nice of a place.
That third floor was
ridiculous.
2 balconies on each side of the house. This giant island with a kitchen. It was like
Which
a
we
living
filled
room.
completely with beer.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to find the pictures as we're talking right now.
Oh, I have
guys.
it. I have it somewhere.
I have some.
So do I.
So Joe used to work for another beer place.
Yeah, I'm tired of fucking skirting around this shit already. I worked for Anheuser-Busch for the last 12 years. I'm currently employed by Blue Point. All
There
right,
you
so this will fucking get out of the way because you've heard my last name. You Google me, nothing's fucking hidden. I don't know why we're trying to be secretive about this shit. I work for Blue Point Brewery at Madison State in New Jersey for the company. So
Well, all right. So Joe worked for Budweiser. Put it that way.
yes, for the last 12 years of my life.
So yeah, we had a lot of buds.
We had an
Oh my
elevator. We had an elevator
We
full
did.
of beer.
The best part was finding the elevator in the house so that we can bring up like
Loaded with all the shit we had to
20
carry.
cases of beer.
Yeah, because it would have taken us a good half hour just to bring all the beer up.
Yeah,
to the third,
Because it was
to the
two
third
floors.
level.
It was two
It was
flights.
2 floors, 2 flights. So we had to go up. So the saving grace was bringing all that beer, throwing it into the elevator, hit 3, meet it on the way up, and then just Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking. It was
a lot of beer. How much?
There-
I mean, we finished a good.
I think we finished like a little over like 40%, like a little less than half.
Yeah,
But
but
I mean,
there was only 7 of us.
that's what I'm saying. We drank a
That
lot.
had to be like 30 cases.
No,
No,
it
like-
was.
I think it was 20.
No, it wasn't even that many. It was like maybe 16, 17.
Oh, I thought it was more.
And some of them were missing cans because it was like I literally just cleared out my house of all the fucking beer I had from my job.
Yeah,
So like, I get 2 cases a month of beer from the company, and this is that from that, and then this is that, and then I had samples, and I had to buy beer because I owed a favor to somebody, so I'm like, here, I'll buy a case to make you happy. So spend some money on your store.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so we had a lot of fucking beer.
Yeah, it was a lot of beer. I mean, it was just, but it was a good time. That we were there for
We
the
had a
weekend.
blast.
We were there for the weekend, so I mean, we knew we were going to go through it.
The first night we just drank at the house, right?
Yeah.
We drank at the house. We played beer pong. We played flip cup. We did
drank
barbecue.
We drank a lot at the house that first night.
Oh yeah,
And then we went, and then remember we woke up, started drinking again, went to Harrah's, right? Did the,
did the pool party.
pool party where we met Mr. Hasselhoff, who was still one of the nicest celebrities I've ever met.
I didn't get to meet him.
That's right. You went to go get a drink.
I went to go get a drink, and then everybody else. We fucking
So-
met David Hasselhoff,
and-
son of a bitch.
But it literally was just serendipitous. Like the line
it was just-
formed around where we were standing, and
Yeah.
we were like the fourth people to meet him.
There were like
Like-
there were two lines, right? It was like you guys went on one line, I went on the other, and nobody knew what it was for, right?
So, yeah, we thought we were getting a drink.
you guys
We're-
didn't know it was for fucking David Hasselhoff.
We're like, all right, well, we're here.
Yeah,
Might as
you
well
guys,
wait.
so
Might as well-
it's like you guys go left, I went right. I was like, all right, I'll meet you guys back here in a minute. I get my drink, and you guys are like, we fucking met David Hasselhoff. I'm like, motherfuckers, should stay with you guys.
That shit happens all the time. I was in similar story. Well, not similar at all, but a directional story.
Yeah.
So me and my friends went down to Philly, Shamrock Fest, DC. For like 3 years in a row, we went to Shamrock Fest in DC, which is a big it's a festival with concerts. So the Dropkick Murphys are the headliner. So we went and saw them 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
So we're
Was it like around St. Patty's Day or like
yeah, exactly. It's in
Okay.
March. Yeah, so it's in March. They go to RFK Stadium. Is RFK in DC?
I don't know, maybe.
that's where the
Right.
Redskins
Redskins play. Yeah, so
play
RFK
your
Stadium. They go to the whole parking lot. They have a VIP area where you pay like $60. It's all you can drink beer all day.
Mhm.
And like we saw DJ Pauly D there, and we saw Dropkick Murphys, Flogging Molly, a bunch of different bands. So we're the concert's on Saturday. So for every Friday night we go out, and every year there's one person who gets way too fucking drunk. It was me one year, but this year is not that year. I had to do something. So this is the tranny story. Have I told you this one?
No, we don't know the Trinity story.
So
No, but I'm interested.
we're
in hearing it.
we're getting there. So we're in DC. We're partying Friday night, and we're at we get to this bar. It's an Irish pub, and there's a line to get in. Our one friend Brian, who lived down in DC, is out with us. Can't hang with us. He's puking on the side of the building because he's so fucking drunk.
There's always
We
one.
get-
You got
Yeah.
a little too close to an Adam's apple, didn't you?
Hold on. So we get there, and there's two lines. Exact same thing. This line's long as shit. This line's short. My friend Sammy, you guys met Sammy.
Yes.
I'm trying to get him on. here.
Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him on. He started actually a beard oil company, 1776 Beard Oils.
Nice.
So I want him to come on and talk about his stuff. I just want to get some free product too. So
So Sammy, if you're listening,
yes, I've been trying to get in touch with you, buddy. Hurry up. So he's like, fuck this, I'm going the shorter line. So we go in this shorter line, and it leads into like a Spanish like nightclub. Like the kind like da, 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 like
Yeah.
the
Where Mijo goes.
yes, exactly. Like what? So if you ever seen Scarface, basically that.
Okay.
It's like what we're walking
Okay.
into. So we're there, and it's pretty packed, and we're having a good time. We're a couple beers in, we go get a couple Coronas because we figured that's the right beer to drink. And they had a second floor, so we go up to the second floor, and I'm drinking my Corona, and my boy Sammy goes and sees this. Probably we're I don't know, mid-20s. I would think I was married to my ex already, and we go up to the second floor, and he starts hooking up with this Spanish, like 35-year-old, at least 10 years older than us,
Okay.
woman. And while he's hooking up with her, I've got to now entertain her friend. So she's pouring me margaritas. We're hanging out in this like patio bar on the second floor. As we're talking, he's making out in the corner. I look and I see the Adam's apple in her throat, and I'm like,
Nice.
son of a bitch. So being, again,
So wait, this is
So
your
what-
friend
so
Sammy.
were you a
This-
good
wait,
friend
hold on,
and-
wait.
I entertained her friend while he was making out with the girl.
Wait, did the friend have an Adam's apple too?
She did not.
Oh.
She was.
So hold on. So this is your friend Sammy.
yes,
He's not coming on the show. not after this story.
100% he will. 100%. Listen, we've been through hell and back together. From in prep together, we were, we knew we were there. We pledged the same fraternity. We were together. Like, we've literally bled for each other. So we're
gonna have to ask him the story when he comes on. If he decides to come
he
on.
will come on. He will verify this story. So I entertained the woman all night.
Yeah.
And then we walk outside, And, he didn't see anything because he's making out with this girl in the fucking corner. We get outside, and the first thing I do is I slap him in the face. I'm like, you can never say no to me again. And he's like, what? I'm like, he had a fucking Adam's apple. And, again, I've since grown since then. I understand there's a different movement, different world today. But, this was 24-year-old me and, whatever.
Yeah.
Today, I didn't care then. I really don't care now. But,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Disclaimer so I don't get fucking Me Too'd. But is that an adjective? Can I say that?
I think so.
Hey, sure.
Yeah.
I think we've passed the point where we can make jokes about it, right? I was playing Cards Against Humanity last night, and there was age jokes left and right. If we can make those, I can make a.
I think we can still make.
Oh,
jokes.
you're fine. In my opinion, you're fine. Even if it was super sensitive, you're fine.
If you're sensitive about it, then just stop listening.
I agree.
That's all I gotta say. We're not gonna apologize. Just stop listening.
Fair enough. You're right. We shouldn't have to. I'm not a bad person at heart, right?
No,
I don't think so.
No, not at all.
So that was my my tranny story, and he owes me still to this day. I have the gold plated friend card. Like.
Wait, but
so
how does he owe you? Yeah, how does? Okay,
you
go.
let him for the rest of the night stay with this girl, and you waited till you left to tell him that there was an Adam's
because
apple?
I was a wingman to the guy. I'm not going to blow up his spot while he's doing his thing. That's what a wingman's job is.
A dude.
No, she was not a dude. I casually looked and made sure.
How did you casually look?
He didn't casually look.
I was a little drunk. I probably went.
There is no casually looking.
I just stared at her throat for like 3 minutes.
It's dark. He waited for one of the moving lights to flash score.
He waited for the ground.
Well, I figured at least if he's already started hooking up with him or her or whatever. Go ahead, have fun. Another time I want to.
She would have risen to the occasion at some point, is what you're trying to say?
I don't think so, but another time out with the same group of friends, and we're at Green Rock in Hoboken.
Okay,
and we're drinking, we're in the back, we're hanging out, and my one friend is like hooking up with this girl all night. And all night, like, I swear to God, she's staring at me. I look over and checking in on your boy to make sure he's good. I look over and like she's like staring at me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Right. So I tell my friends, I'm like, dude, this chick is just scoping me out. Right. The lights come on. Chick had the laziest eye I've ever seen.
Oh, so she wasn't staring at you.
Her eye was just pointing at me, and I happened to be, I guess, right in the line of sight the whole fucking night. So I go up to him I'm like, damn, I'm sorry. I'm like, I thought your girl was like checking me out, but then I saw her eye was lazy. He's like, wait, what lazy eye? I'm like, whoa. But yeah, so those are my
stories from the past.
So, but where the fuck were we? Where we start? How did we get down this hole?
We were going down this hole because of what's in your cup.
Two different directions. Was that it?
Yeah, that's where we started. What's in your cup? We started with the whole. We went from what's in your cup
to Atlantic City to the bachelor party
to yep. Okay.
Sammy hooking up with Adam's apple. That's how it started.
That's how it should end. That should have been the end of the story. That makes it funnier. If I ever become a comic, that will be the end of the story. So when I look, bitch has got an Adam's apple. So we're gonna flip it around, hand it off to Ray because Ray's got a story about your recent jury duty.
Yeah,
we can talk about this now.
We can talk about it, right?
Yes.
Finally,
it's in public record.
Yes.
Okay.
So you got picked.
I got the letter in the mail that everyone loves.
I'm supposed to go Tuesday.
Oh, well, have fun.
I'm gonna get out there.
Yeah, so I went. I'm in a position. My company pays for it.
Yeah, may as well.
I wasn't lying to get off, which you can do. I wasn't lying to get on. I was like, all right, if I get picked, I get picked. If not, I don't.
Which is what we all should do to be good, civically responsible adults. But no one wants to really sit there, right?
Depends. Depends on the day, I guess.
Yeah.
But those chairs are so uncomfortable. Like my ass is hurting already just thinking about sitting on those benches.
No, but when you get picked, you're not in the bench anymore. You're in the juror box.
Are those seats comfy?
Yeah.
Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, ended up getting picked for a trial. This was a criminal trial, so it was criminal versus civil. Civil, you just have to be proven more likely than not to be guilty. For a criminal trial, it has to be beyond a reasonable doubt. So, yeah.
Okay.
So, I'm not going to name names or...
No, we don't need names. I just want to get an idea.
Detail. I mean,
just plaintiff defendant type stuff is fine.
I can talk about it now because the trial is complete, but...
Yeah, no, I don't care about names. I just want to know what happened, what was going on.
Yeah, so it was...
Drug deal, no drug deal.
So the person was being tried for... three not categories. What's the word I'm looking for? Charges, yeah. So one was possession of a handgun without permit.
Okay.
One was possession of hollow points.
Okay.
And the third was resisting arrest.
Okay.
So the hardest part of sitting in to me, and I even talked with some of the jurors about this, the hardest part of like sitting in a trial to me was listening to the testimony and the lawyers going, go back and forth, and you just have to sit there, and you can't like ask questions back.
Yeah,
I never thought about that aspect of being on a jury, but that was the toughest part to me.
Well, give us an example. Like, what kind of question did you want to ask? So like I mean, I know you can't go into detail about the person's name or whatever, but give us a scenario as far as like
they were talking about like prints on the gun because part of the defense's argument was there was no prints on the gun.
Okay,
I'm like, all right, well, was anybody's prints on it, or are you just
how did they find it? How did they find it? Was it like in a car? They stopped them.
It was in a wheel well.
In a wheel well.
The
gun was in the wheel well. You mean?
Supposedly.
Okay.
And I'll get to that towards the end. So.
Dun, dun, dun.
So what they pulled the guy over kind of thing, and
they were
searching his car.
It was a group of guys. The cars pulled up. He supposed the officer claims that he saw the guy in possession of the weapon. Turned to his side, put the gun in the wheel well of the car next to him. They told him he was under arrest, and the guy took off.
Okay.
So that's. Then they secure the weapon. They found the hollow points in it. That's how the 3 charges came about.
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah, so it lasted a total of 5 days. He was found guilty on one of the 3,
which was
the resisting arrest.
Okay,
the other 2 were a mistrial.
Oh yeah,
mistrial, so it can be tried again.
I don't think they were supposed to, or they had to say the count, but it was 11-1.
One person held out.
Yeah, and the way the jury is 12 people.
Yeah,
sometimes they select 14. This was in particular was 16. I don't know what caused them to select 14 or 16, or if there's even other numbers, but in the end, there are alternates. Randomly selected in case something happens to one of the jurors and they have to substitute. So, unfortunately for me, because I didn't get to experience this aspect of it, I was an alternate, so I wasn't actually in the deliberation with the jury to actually come to a decision. So
that sucks.
Yeah. So basically,
you had to do all the work, but none of the fun stuff.
It was 4 of us. We had to sit in a separate room, couldn't talk about the case while they were deliberating. And that I would say,
were you allowed to use your phone and shit in that separate room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I was on my iPad doing work and.
So wait, so I got a question. So you said it was 11-1, and they.
So I don't know what side it was. If it was 11-1 guilty versus not guilty, or 11-1 not guilty versus.
Oh,
guilty.
so you don't know which way it went, but you just know it was split that way.
Yeah.
So why would they do?
What would you have voted?
What would I vote? I thought it was guilty.
So then it was 11-1 guilty, right? I mean,
I guess I'm confused.
And just from chatting with the other 3 that were I think I can't speak for them, but just from conversation, like general conversation about it, because we couldn't talk details.
Yeah,
I kind of got the sense that they would have been the same way.
So then you have to assume if the 4 of you were thinking that way, then the other 11 that said one way, and then
So that's
maybe it was.
So I don't know for sure.
Wait, so I'm just confused, I guess, as to so if it was 11-1, let's say 11 found that he was guilty and 1 did not, right?
Correct.
That's considered a mistrial.
It has to be unanimous.
They all have
It has to be unanimous
Correct.
one way or the other.
Yeah, if they have a split jury, that's called a hung jury essentially.
Yeah.
So that becomes a mistrial and they have to retry it again.
Yeah, so it all depends. It
weird.
depends on
I
the
thought-
judge too,
okay.
like how long he wants to let you
deliberate.
try to. Yeah. So we were technically deliberating for 3 days. The first day was towards the afternoon after they heard after we heard all the testimony and the closing arguments and all that stuff. They deliberated for about an hour. They wanted to replay 3 of the witnesses' testimony. The attorneys at that point weren't there anymore. So he had to adjourn us for the afternoon because attorneys have to be present for any of that. And then we had to get called back in.
Because you have to watch it then too,
yeah,
right?
In case we get substituted. So we lost about a half day there. The second day, one of the jurors was sick in the morning. So we lost another half day. And they won't substitute an alternate because that question came up like, well, if they're sick, why are we like, what's the point of having alternates? And that's not a reason to substitute because it's, I think.
So what's a reason to substitute then?
Something more long term.
Oh, so like if she fell down the stairs and broke her leg, then they're going to substitute her.
Yeah.
But she got too drunk last night and is hungover this morning. We're not going to sub you out.
Yeah.
Okay. And
because they have to start the whole deliberation process over again if they substitute one of the alternates for someone. Because
but 11 people already deliberated. It's kind of just like catching you up, though, right? How much they have to restart?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, but I imagine there's some. Okay.
Yeah. So, and the testimony from these 3 people was about 4 hours. So I had to sit there and listen to 4 hours of testimony again and do nothing with it because I'm an
Jesus
which
Christ.
really sucked.
Yeah, that sucks.
So what kind
and
of
half the like some of them were sleeping during it. Like,
the alternates or the
the people, the ones that were actually selected for the.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have been conked out in that fuck. You guys
Even
remember?
the judge at one point was like dozing off, like when they were replaying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too.
So
yeah, so that was another half day. So when they actually had that and started deliberating, they were about 3 hours in. They, you have to you write to the judge, and the judge brings everyone back in and addresses, what they're saying. They said they came to a conclusion on one of the charges. The other 2 they're hung and they want to be excused. And he's like, nope, go back in and deliberate more. And that happened 2 other times. And this was right before the Friday for Labor Day weekend. One of the jurors had already said they can't come back the next day because they have a vacation plan because they planned it after the date that they said would be the absolute latest that this trial could be going for. So I think that played into it also. And then the last note that the judge got said that the person, I guess the oddball out, said there is 0 chance that they are going to sway their mind. So I guess at that point, I don't think there's a rule on when you can end deliberation. I guess it's case by case.
Yeah.
So I guess at that point he felt okay with having it a mistrial.
Yeah.
Which really sucks though because you got to do it all over again. The guy isn't innocent of it.
Did you have to go again
No.
for this? Oh, okay, I was gonna say yeah.
No.
You're spent at this point, right?
Yeah.
So like, what were the witnesses like?
Yeah, were there any witnesses?
I imagine there was probably character witnesses and
it was a person from ballistics to kind of discuss the aspect of Hollow Point and someone from the crime scene unit and some of the detectives.
Okay. And what was like?
And then the defendant was also called as the only defense witness.
Yeah. So you've seen again. We know we're
Law and
all
Order and
love these fucking shows, right?
NCIS.
And it was
How accurate was?
It was actually it was more accurate than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Like it felt like it wasn't as dramatic.
Okay.
Like the going back and forth and having a courtroom full of people, like it wasn't like that, but like you had your objections, you had like going back and forth with the attorneys and the witness, and so it was more like it than I thought it was going to be.
Okay. I've heard little things are different. Like you don't see the lawyers don't walk around the courthouse as much. They
No,
don't,
ours did.
did he?
Well, one of them did.
Okay. And like they have to ask to approach the witness every time, you know.
They did that.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah. This is all stuff I remember from my fucking business law classes. You know, we had, you know, like if you're ever in front of a court, you gotta
And it just
follow these things.
It felt like
And my divorce too, but
everything was so like drawn out. Like that he'd state something with the time, then state it again with the time and the location, and then state it again with the time and the location and the occurrence, and then the time and the location, the occurrence, the street, and you know what was happening. Like,
well, did you ever notice?
I felt like God damn it! Like you could have cleared this up 5 minutes ago. Like, get to your point.
Well, did you ever notice, like in Law and Order, it says like trial part 46.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why is because you know they're only showing the 46th part of you know that's the 2 minutes of captivating stuff, right? So I mean, a lot of it's just mundane. Like, who are you? Where are you from? Where do you live? What do you do? You know, like
There's got to be a better way of fucking doing things.
I mean. But how?
It's not. Yeah, it's.
I don't know, but there's got to be a better way.
Do I mean? I know, but it's like, do we want to put the trust of? Again, I'm gonna sound paranoid and anti-government, but I'm not. I'm family and military, but do we want to give away that power?
But
because it's definitely a power. We saw it. This guy. If it was 5 judges deciding, like in Judge Dredd,
well, no, I also
this
felt
guy's
like,
going to jail.
Yeah.
I like reflecting on everything afterwards. It felt like it was that close. Like the outcome could have been completely different if just one of the alternates was switched.
Yeah.
Like if one of us
Yeah.
was replaced with that person, like the outcome could have been completely different.
Oh yeah.
Like it's almost like a luck of the draw, like that, and like I don't feel like that's right.
But that's the beauty of it, right? So I mean, in a truly fair way, random is the most fair, right? You're computers, you guys know that random number generators.
Well, there really is technically there really is no random.
It is, but when you see the whole picture,
but in a large enough pool set, the way we have our current legal system is a randomly picked group, right? Because the set of data is that big.
Yeah.
So when you get to a certain size, it becomes as close to random as you can get, right?
Well, you want to hope so.
Okay.
I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah, just pissing me off what you're fucking doing.
No, and it's one thing. It's one thing. You know, if there were just 12 people that were randomly picked, and that's how the outcome was, you can live with that.
Yeah.
But when you see it's a bigger group, and there's only one person from the first selection that voted one way, and you can kind of expect that the other 4 that were subbed out would have voted the same as the other 11. Like it,
but it depends on what side you're on, right? I mean,
yeah, like I don't know which side it was, and I don't mean
even
guilty
you.
versus not guilty. I just mean coming to a unanimous decision, whether it's one way or the other.
Yes, I mean, if you're guilty, you obviously want that one person, right? That's the
all you need is one.
That's the best case scenario. Like, what was that movie with
and then you start thinking,
Cusack and the chick from The Mummy? Was it Runaway Jury? I think it was.
Yes.
Where they same thing? They
just
rigged the jury.
Yeah.
So
that was a good movie.
Yeah, and
it's a really good fucking.
Something like
what was
that
the guy's
comes
name?
into your head too. Like, could something what was one of the jurors approached by and you hope not. You don't want to think that, but
like I'm not stereotyping anyway, but was like this guy like I don't want to say thuggish, but was he more of a criminal element type of like someone who?
Part of the cross examination from the prosecutor was past history, and he did have history of being in trouble before.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll leave it at that.
It's such a hard thing, right? Because I mean, technically, the gun I own, I can go to jail for. I mean, it was handed down from my mother to me, and everything, but I haven't registered it yet. So I mean, but why are you carrying it around in the fuck? Like, I don't know, man. It's a tricky fucking road.
You
right?
shouldn't be carrying around.
But I know. In New Jersey, you shouldn't be, the law in New Jersey, you shouldn't be carrying around, so you shouldn't carry it around. That's
Yeah.
what the answer
You
is.
can have it on your hip when you're going to the grocery store.
Not in our state, correct. But we drive like to Maryland or Florida or one of those states that Steven has his 23 concealed carry permits.
Yeah.
He got.
It's a little different.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, keep going. Finish up. So how long did they actually take to deliberate? It was 3 days, you said? It's like 3 days time.
Time and afternoon because of all the early dismissals and rehearing the testimony, like the actual.
Oh, so they only actually talked together for like a couple hours?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like it spanned over 3 days, but the actual time that they were
Because
in
they
there
were
was only about 3. I would a half day, I would say.
Really?
And like and when the 4 of us are sitting there, and like by the third time that we got called back in, and they're saying that they're still hung, and then he sends them back in. Like we're sitting there, we're like, what is going on in there? Like are they sitting in the corners? Is the one person trying to convince the other 11? Is the 11 trying to convince that person? Are they doing anything? Are they fighting? Like what's going like? And you don't know.
Yeah.
Like
Wait, so you guys weren't in there with them?
No.
Because if they were alternates, they had to come in with a fresh brain.
That's
They
what, like
didn't
when you're like, even when the jurors can't even talk to each other, like
Yeah.
during the only time that you can talk to, you can't talk to anyone outside of the jurors.
Yeah.
And the only time that you can talk to them about the case is when you're in the jury room deliberating. Like even when you go to lunch, they say
Don't
you
talk to anybody.
can't talk to them. I mean, you can talk to them, but you can't talk about the case. If anyone approaches you about it, you have to let the
I agree.
sheriff's
There has to be a better way.
officers. Like,
You what?
There has to be a better way. I agree.
Yeah, there has to be a better way.
I'm sorry, continue. It's just frustrating, right? Like,
yeah. And like, you know what? And then I'm thinking to myself, well, like if we have to get subbed in, like, shouldn't we have been in there to like hear what was said already? And then I'm like,
Because now they have to repeat the whole
Yeah.
thing again, and then
but then I'm like, would that be even tougher for you to have to sit there? Because then I'm assuming if they let you sit there, you can't say anything.
Yeah.
To actually be sitting there with everyone and and having to keep your mouth shut like that just not going to happen. Especially if you have someone with a strong personality or a strong opinion, they're not going to be able to sit there and just keep their mouth shut.
no.
I mean, but this could go AI right now. I'm sitting here thinking and listening to you, but we could program a computer to make a rational judgment call based, debiased of emotion.
Rational? I don't know about rational. Maybe.
100% rational, because if nothing else, computers can do rational. They understand.
But then do you want to be in a...
Yes, so if something's legal or illegal, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be no bias based upon whether they're black, white, Spanish, whether they're, poor, rich, whether they come from an affluent family. A computer it looks at yes or no. Was the circumstances.
But technology is flawed.
But people are flawed too. I mean, there's that argument with anything.
Do you want to be sent? And I mean, if it wasn't this magnitude, but do you want to be sent to prison for the rest of your life because a computer program said so?
So what's the next topic we're talking about here, guys? Yes, I know. There's a good and bad to everything, right?
No,
I mean,
like I bought it's completely off topic, but I bought a new indoor security camera because I didn't want to replace my baby monitor broke. I didn't want to replace it, so I bought like one of those indoor cameras.
Yeah,
and I keep getting the motion alerts, and there's nobody in there. There's not like nothing. Like it's the sensitivity. I guess I have to change, but like that's an example. Like this monitor is saying that there was motion in the room, but there wasn't.
There is. It's
Like
called a ghost.
That's what I tell my wife. Like, we have a ghost in the house.
It's one of those.
But like,
yeah.
I wouldn't want to be in a society like that.
yeah, I know. It's
Then again, I
Do you remember the
don't
movie-
think I'll ever find myself in that position to have to be judged by.
Do you remember the movie
I hope not.
iRobot
yes.
with Will Smith?
Mhm.
That brain fucking robot. It's the same kind of concept, right?
That she's looking out for us and kills us to protect
I'm
us.
gonna kill all of us.
Look
to
how
protect us.
stuff can be hacked.
That too.
Yeah, I mean it's a crazy world we're living in right now, man. We're on the precipice of all this shit.
And
If you really
that's
think
it.
about
The system isn't perfect.
No,
And like, and in
nothing's
particular,
perfect.
like I don't think justice.
Nothing is
was met
perfect.
here.
Nothing is perfect, and everything is flawed. everything, whether it's going to be
100%. But then we got to decide where we're willing to accept those flaws.
Yeah, right.
where's the middle ground. That's what it is.
Are we willing to accept it from a computer, or do we still want people because we feel that the emotional
I'll tell you what.
connection has a point?
I'll tell you what. No one's going to do the computer thing anytime soon. Let's say, right? No one's going to say, "Well, here's a."
I just saw a video about this recently that it's not being used in the actual courts yet, but all of contract law, it's showing that the AI they've written has like a 90% success rate in finding errors in contracts and agreements.
Mhm.
Whereas a seasoned attorney who would review it only averages between like 72 to 80%. So it's big difference of like accuracy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that starts everything, right? You find one way to make it better, and then it just keeps infiltrating.
Yeah.
So a woman's getting attacked.
Okay.
She defends herself. In self-defense, the person dies.
She's not
But the
wrong.
letter of the law,
But
she can be getting charged with murder.
but that's
A computer.
I'm thinking in computer terms. It's a simple if-then clause. If woman was attacked by assailant, then she is found not guilty. Right? I mean, that's
Yeah, she wouldn't. I don't think she would.
yeah.
get,
I don't think. I mean, that's a simple programming. If this happens, then this happens.
Then everyone would say it's
self-defense.
Yeah.
Well, we're only in 50 years. We're gonna have cameras everywhere.
If you know what how the code is written, and that could be easily
In
found
50
out.
years, we're gonna be living in fucking what was this Demolition Man? There's gonna be cameras that monitor everywhere we go. We're already almost
They're
fucking
already
there.
there. They're already there.
We're okay for where we live. Yeah, we're always on fucking camera where we live. But you go out to middle America, we're not there
4
yet.
cameras in my house as we speak.
But that's what I'm saying. But you go out to
I got 6.
Iowa,
Yeah.
where they live on a 30-acre farm where there's, how are we ever going to find
This goes back to our fucking serial killer.
exactly
theory.
go to their farm and kill them then because there's no cameras.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Unless you know, you really don't know that there's cameras or not, right?
100%. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. But I feel like if you're someone who plays the odds, and I play the odds, I'm sure a lot of people who commit crimes play the odds as well. Somewhere more rural is just going to have a better odd of not having a camera just because there's less property for said camera to be on, right? Or less buildings or structures.
Less
And just
structures.
because the camera's there, the camera has to be monitored too.
Does it? Yeah,
like,
doesn't actually mean.
but it's so
how
cheap
many times you run a red light in front of it and there's a camera there?
every time.
Yeah.
I run all the red lights.
Have you ever gotten a summons in the mail?
In New Jersey, they've ended there was
They
a
got rid of
pilot
that.
program they
Yeah,
had.
They got rid of that, but the cameras are
And-
still there.
They're still there, but they can't be used for fines right now. That's why. And the cameras that you're seeing now, a lot of them are sensors. So they've abandoned the sensor in the road for the lights, the magnets they
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
So that's part of it. And also part of it is a lot of towns got money from Department of Homeland Security after 9/11 to input cameras just for said reason. That big, like in Bayonne, there's one right at the turnpike. So that way all the entrances and exits in town,
Yeah,
they can
They're being
track
monitored.
someone. If there's ever a terrorist attack, they can find where they went. So,
well, places like that because it's close to the city.
yeah, but
And
it was
there's
all
so
over
many
New
ways
Jersey.
of in and out. Like of once you get out of the New York area into Jersey, there's so many ins and outs of different areas, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean,
So they, of course,
I still I've been selling beer in the state now. In
I thought you
this
were about to
state.
say you were selling drugs. Sorry.
No, I've been selling beer. Well, alcohol is technically a drug. It's monitored by the Food and the and DEA, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, Tylenol is a drug too.
Yeah,
It's just
yes,
legal.
Correct.
but you
So
can't
is
sell
nicotine.
It. But you can't sell it.
Nicotine? It's limited
You can't
use.
sell it. No, you as yourself.
Yes, I cannot sell it. I also cannot legally sell alcohol without having permits.
Yeah,
right?
I'm just being.
I'm going
Fucker
back
today.
at you. All right. What the fuck was I talking about?
I don't know. Cameras off of Bayonne somewhere.
I don't know. DEA agents we were talking about and whatever.
Yeah, I
But
threw you off. I'm sorry.
you did. But that's cool.
So yeah. So I mean, and if you've ever gone to jury duty, they tell you keep an open mind, yada yada yada. It's your civic duty, blah blah blah. Like,
Wait, they tell you to keep an open mind?
yeah, they try to try
You
to
should've
make it
just wore a
make it
MAGA
not,
hat
They
and
try
then you
to
would've had
try
it.
to make it not pissed off because you're at jury duty. Like,
Yeah.
no one likes to go there.
No one does like going there.
But
But
it was to me it was a life experience, and I am glad I did it.
But they're not laying excuses out. Like, I'm concerned that I might get put in a trial this time because they're not taking excuses like they used to. Like, my friend who's a cop got put on jury duty because the judge said,
It depends on the judge.
Yeah,
like
100%. But
and
then,
the trial that ended up being on, like, they give you a sheet of paper that goes over a bunch of questions, and they narrow you down
Nate,
by that.
what shows do you watch?
Like one of them was, is there a hardship of any kind that would not allow you to end?
Oh yeah, because
Like,
if you don't get paid, get paid when you have to be there,
And like 3/4 of the room said that they had a hardship.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I want to hear what and like they bring you up. They had the white noise, but they had it really low, so you can really hear like what they're like. If you listen close enough, you can hear what's going on. And basically, like, for every person, he just lets them go.
yeah,
So like it depends on
the judge.
yeah.
But it's just,
Yeah, no, I mean, but yes, that's probably one of the quickest ways to get out. But it's one of those things, I guess, if you have one of those jobs where you get where you're getting paid, per hour, and they won't pay you for being there, and you're getting how much you're getting paid for being in jury duty, like from the state?
The first 3 days is $5. Well, and this, I don't know if this is across the nation,
Yeah.
but in our area, the first 3 days, $5 a day. From that point on, is $40 a day.
Yeah. So, I mean, are you getting reimbursed for parking? Because I know when I did mine back in a few years ago.
No, but where I was, there your tickets get validated. So
Oh,
you don't have to
okay.
pay.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I was like, there's your $5. You're fucking paying for parking.
yeah. But when's the last time you did it? You probably were more in the city than you are now.
I was in Newark.
Yeah.
When I lived
Right now,
Yeah,
you're
when I was-
you're going to pull
I-
up to your courthouse in this area, and there's going to be probably free parking.
Like I've had,
Yeah, I'm sure.
I've been to jury duty in other counties, and the parking was more than
Than what you got
cost-
paid.
Yeah, what you
Yeah.
got paid. So
Yeah, Hudson County to go to where I was, 100%. To go into Jersey City, you lost money going to jury duty.
Yeah. So, it's like,
Yeah.
if it's a hardship like that, where you're getting paid per hour, you can't get, you won't get paid from your job or being in jury duty, or however it is.
if you work for
anything
the
like
state, you don't get that money.
that. Right. So,
Yeah.
technically, it's a hardship. That's,
Yeah, and that's the perspective I took. Like, I'm fortunate enough to where I will be reimbursed. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a hardship for me. So, I mean, it's
Yeah, they just use like a sick day for you,
I'm
essentially.
behind on work.
As
Like,
long-
I had to put in some extra time to catch up.
as
but,
long
like,
as they're not making
financially-
you take a sick day or a vacation
No.
day.
Yeah, they have set jury duty days, right? Yeah.
Yeah, not everybody does it though.
no, yeah.
Well, I just found out, I think that my company, Anheuser-Busch, is doing one of the largest or longest maternity leave programs in the country now.
Oh, nice.
I want to say it's like 6 months or something. It's like
Oh, that's
again, I read about it briefly because I was like, oh, babe, here's another reason we're having our kid. And I'm glad she said we weren't. I love my son to death, but whew.
well. So we have my corporate office is in Stockholm, and
Okay.
those guys over there. I don't know about. Well, I think it's in Europe in general. I think for maternity leave they get a year off.
It's not everywhere, but I believe that Sweden is one of the better countries over. I feel like Finland or one of them is like the best.
Well, I know in London they get at least a year off,
Yeah.
right? So I want to say
The mo-
For both, or just the mother?
just the mother. But I think in Sweden it's the same thing. You get a year off as well. But for the fathers in Sweden, they get 4 months.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I've heard of some places where husbands get a year.
Wow.
Like in some of I forget what country it was, but I remember hearing about like they just upped it to a year for a husband.
Well, I'll tell you this.
My brother did the long-term disability shit you can do with New Jersey.
Yeah.
But again, it's, you're...
I don't think you get paid for that though.
You get paid. It's the same as disability,
Oh,
or like long-term disability. So what's it, like 60%? I think of your salary,
Yeah. Which
up
is,
to up to a cap. So I think he was over the cap. So I think he was maxed out at the.
Yeah. So
For my-
I mean,
for
But it's a low cap. It's like if you make $50,000 a year, you've reached the cap. Like
Yeah.
it's not a lot of fucking money.
for my company, they just for when I had my second son,
Mhm.
where I ended up getting 4 weeks.
yeah.
I probably could have gotten more because if they're
Well, you were there for so long too, right?
Well, no, it had nothing to do with time.
Oh, okay.
In the paperwork, like if you're the primary caregiver
Mm-hmm.
for the child at that time, you can get, I think it was up to like 3. I forgot the time. It might have been up to 3 months.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you
then-
what. So
I'm still in trouble from only taking a week off from.
I only took a few days
Like-
off from the first one.
I took a
Like,
week
I
off
didn't- I
and I
didn't
answered
think-
my phone during the week, so I was still working.
Like job, I couldn't see myself being separated for that long.
That long, yeah. Well,
Like-
that's the thing in Sweden. So
And
the
plus,
fathers they get 4 months.
Yeah, and I didn't
right?
know.
The dude had he actually took his time. Like he so the one guy that I know, he ended up having one kid the next year, and he didn't take the 4 months then. Then the second year, another kid, and he ended up taking 8 months.
Because it was probably calendar years.
Yeah. So I mean, I forget exactly how he did
And
it, but yeah,
everything in
he
the paperwork says everything is upon manager approval.
yeah, of course.
And like, you know, like I don't want to push the envelope type of thing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I took what I thought I was entitled to, and
yeah, you're not gonna.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm the same way. Excuse me, but don't leave. I don't leave a single day on the fucking table.
oh, no, absolutely not.
Like people who don't take vacations because they feel that they're not going to. Fuck
And
that
plus-
shit.
and-
I
and
love
plus-
my company. I'll bleed for them, but I'm going on vacation, man.
Yeah.
We weren't sure of the actual like care of my son at that time.
Yeah,
who was
who's
gonna be
gonna do
doing
what,
it.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so I also didn't want to get stuck in a situation where it ended up where someone else was there, and then if that could be proven that I wasn't the primary caregiver and I still had all that time off, it wasn't worth it to me to like
No,
the,
so
mon-
if-
the month was like to me was more than
Was
enough.
more than enough. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm telling you, you go in the backyard right now. You go talk to my wife and say, "Hey, remember when Joe only took off 3 days really from work?" And she'll be like, "Yeah, I fucking remember."
Yeah. No, I think when my kids.
And I regret it
and,
now.
and plus for my second was 2 weeks early, so I had everything planned out, and it all got turned upside down.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
my company was very flexible
yeah,
and
no, I
understanding
took
with
the
that.
2
So
weeks,
like,
so-
But let's be real here. We're not a bunch of fucking bums.
No.
We do our fucking jobs. You know, like
Yeah.
like my boss calls me. He's like, "Hey, get this done." I'm like, "Okay, we'll get." Like,
Yeah. No, when I had my kids, my twins, I definitely took the 2 weeks. I mean, it was like, you know, at that point, I was with that place for, I want to say 5 or 6 years, and
Yeah.
I mean, they were working me like fucking dogs. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna take this time.
oh yeah,
I mean, I was like, you know, it was great because it's like the kids could sleep, and I could like do shit that I wanted to do
Yeah.
that I haven't done in forever, and you know, the kids were sleeping.
no, my company's great too, man. Like, I mean, I had to take my wife's uncle, who just passed away a little while ago, who was sick for years. So we had to take between Christmas and New Year's one year. We had to drive down to Florida
Yeah.
because he had a stroke, and we didn't think he was gonna make it. And flights were like $1,200 a fucking person to get him down there. So I'm like, get in the car, I'll drive you guys down there. And like, that's a week that, you know, between Christmas and New Year's in the beer business is one of our busiest weeks. And my boss is like, yeah, go ahead, take the week, take your phone with you, you know, do what you gotta do. So
Yeah.
like, my company's great. They really do care about the people. So,
Yeah. No, it's good.
but I'm also the idiot that didn't take any time off when my son was born. But
Well, I mean,
but happier things.
time has passed, right?
Yes, and now he's as crazy as he ever was.
Of
So,
course.
But,
they all are.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap up this show with cut to the finish.
cut to the finish. What do we got this week? Anything?
So I've got it this week. So I alluded to it before. My baby monitor broke. So it's a TP-Link Casa, I think Spot it's called.
Okay.
And it was like $40, 1080p video, audio, two-way audio.
Okay. Night vision?
Yeah, night vision. It hooks up right to my Google Home. So
Wi-Fi or to have it
yeah.
hardwired?
No, it's Wi-Fi.
And just plug and play?
Mhm.
It's fucking...
I literally had the Google Hub. So my mother's the one that watches my son, and all she has to say is, "Hey Google, put the monitor on the living room display."
I wonder
and then
if
it
you
comes
use-
up, and that's how she like it.
Watch it, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if you put that like in a car. So
To do
like,
what?
so my new car, the new car I got has the Wi-Fi in it on the 4G LTE Wi-Fi with AT&T.
Oh, dude, you're gonna run through that data plan.
It's so if I don't know if I'm going to do it, but it's unlimited. They have a plan.
Yeah, you're still gonna
So-
run through that. That unlimited is never unlimited though.
But it's
especially
the only
with
person that's
Verizon.
going to use it is going to be my son when we're taking long trips.
Of course.
You know, like I have an unlimited plan on my phone. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, but they'll.
But my question, like, can I like put a camera in there and then just like whenever the car's on, like for like not for facing forward, but not facing me, but facing out, and then just have it uploaded right to the cloud, as opposed to having to have a
dash cam.
dash cam, like having a dash cam that connects to the Wi-Fi every time and just bounces up there
I think you would just
on
do
a
that.
live stream, so I could like watch while my wife's driving while she's driving, essentially.
You're a creep.
Yeah.
Coming from you, who wants to put a camera in a teddy bear that looks, like
I didn't want to put a camera in
the
a teddy
rape
bear.
camera in a teddy bear.
I didn't want to put no camera in a teddy bear. That wasn't me.
But whatever. I'm sorry, my ADD just kicked in. Continue. So the camera works good.
Yeah. For $40, if you're looking for a security camera indoors, definitely recommend
Or to
it.
put one in your car to watch while your
Yeah.
wife's driving.
He's still on it.
Oh, I steer into the skid hard, guys. I steer in hard. But, well, that's it, right? So thanks, everyone. Please remember, like, comment, subscribe. Yell at us. Tell us we're an asshole, because I am.
You're an asshole.
Thank you. I am.
Dennis Leary, you're an asshole.
Leo, Leo, Leo.
I hate it. I hated that fucking show.
I could sing that entire song for you.
No, I watched it recently. I hated it. It was
I
dumb.
love Dennis Leary.
Going back and listening to it. I liked it back in the day, but going back and listening to it, I was like, stupid.
Oh, it's 100% stupid. That's why I love it.
Yeah.
But
all right, let's kill it. We'll talk to you guys next week.
later, everybody.
Later.
Bye.